Hello, I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts for Florida Aviation Network. We're here in Sebring, Florida at the Sport Aviation Expo 2017, and it's a cornucopia of activity out on the ramp. We're here in the terminal, right outside the Runway Cafe, and if you haven't been to Sebring, please put it on your bucket list. If you're listening or watching this from the ramp, good to have you here. And we have today a gentleman here with FP&A, and I'm going to let Mr. Shawn Oken. Shawn, welcome.
Thank you very much for having us on, and hello to everybody that's out there.
Floatplanes and amphibs, FP&A. Tell us just to give us a little bit of a framework on what FP&A means and what it's doing.
So floatplanes and amphibs is F float, P planes, N amphibs, A for amphibs.
Imagine how that works.
Yeah.
It's a great acronym.
Hey, we're in aviation. It's all about acronyms.
True.
So flying is all about fun, and we've been about fun. So we started about 20 years ago with Quicksilvers, like a lot of people. We worked with Airborne Australia very closely for weight shift. Then we designed our own line of airplanes, which you can see on our website. And float planes, that's my personal joy, and since I started the company, that's it. My partner Dick Marshall and I build our own floats called the waterborne floats. They work on weight shift aircraft designed specifically for airborne, but others. We've also designed the Cape Town, which is a seaplane that has a 1,430-pound lift. We were one of the early innovators in the industry, part of LSA. We've won a number of awards, Sun and Fun Oshkosh, and here in Florida. We're based on the Sebring Airport, one of the founding members of the Expo, real supporter of aviation, and believe that it's a great place to have a good time, have a lot of fun, and creates great innovation for all sorts of industries in our life.
Well, Shawn, some of the terminology you use, and you speak so well in the aviation. You've been in aviation for now, what, 2-3 years?
I started when I was 10 years old with the Boy Scout Explorers posts, so I'm a very big supporter of that. Then from there I moved on, was a commercial airline pilot, flew for a couple companies, not supposed to mention, but major airlines, flew Airbuses, Boeings, that kind of thing. When I left the airlines, I left it for bigger and brighter futures, actually. But my love of flying really exceeds everything, so that's why we do this.
Well, and Shawn, your background, we did speak a little bit earlier, and it is pretty dadgum interesting. And we were also talking about youth and getting the youth involved with this. And what does getting youth involved with aviation? And I've heard the term orbital power. Orbital power keeps popping up through different conversations around the airport. Share with us a little bit about orbital power and how that integrates in with FP&A.
So FP&A has looked at the industry, and we see industries changing tremendously. And as many people will know, the drone market is a big market. Now we've been into the drone industry now coming on 8 years, and we're looking for the smallest lightweight engines that we can. So our partner, Orbital Power, has developed and designed a new type of engine, a variant of the rotary engine, but uses new high-tech materials, specially designed engine control units, ECUs, and power management units to provide a highly efficient, power-dense engine.
Well, Shawn, as we talk a little bit about and develop that, we're going to go to Slate. We're going to pan down and look at some of the components that you're just going to describe, and Allison's going to pan down and look at some of the components that we have here. And there we go. Now we're looking at just kind of point at it, and let's talk about what. There's a unit in front, a very, very small cylindrical unit with some fins, cooling fins.
Okay, so this small unit is meant for a hybrid drone. It runs a fossil fuel. It can actually burn anything with a caloric value. It was designed specifically to run jet fuel, so it runs all the J fuels, but it'll run gasoline, kerosenes, propanes, any of those, and it does it on the fly, as long as the stasis is the same, meaning liquids with liquids or gases with gases. That engine's made with a new material that we've actually invented and have patents on. It's a polyeutectic material, which means it's mixed with silicon and aluminum and so forth. Very lightweight, very high temperature. The one next to it, which is in the black cowl, believe it or not, and here's my hand to give you an idea of size, this particular engine can put out upwards of 20 horsepower. It only weighs 12 pounds. It's an air-cooled engine, fully electronically controlled with fuel injection.
And again, that is a rotary engine, or orbital, as you like to call it.
Yes, we call it an orbital engine because it does use a Wankel cycle, and it does go round and round, but the combustion chamber inside has a different shape, and the materials are different. It's all ceramics on the inside for managing cooling and fuel efficiencies.
And how about wear? I mean, it's being ceramics, probably, I'm not going to use the term impervious, but extremely good wear characteristics.
So of the main running components, we don't break them. So what causes the engine to wear over time, if you will, are the springs, which are made out of a very high temperature piece, which is called alkaloy. But other than that, we literally clean them off and we can reuse them. So our engines are recyclable.
So these engines, and a good term that I like to use in aviation, works good, lasts a long time.
That's it.
And that's it. Explain to us the generator that you brought with us.
Okay, so again, if you take a look at it, it's 18 inches in length. It's the size basically of a big laptop. It weighs 12 pounds, and it's a 500 watt all day long generator, not peak performance, all day running. Again, it'll run any fuel as you pour it into the throttle, into the fuel tank. And this one is based around jet fuels again, running all the way to pure alcohols. USB ports, car charging, 12 volt. But the intention is to recharge batteries, to take it out into the wilderness and wire. This is not a home portable generator. This is for fire services, emergency services, commercial drone operators. And these are made here in Florida as well. All parts made in America proudly.
Well, great. Shawn, we're back up on us now. The generator, when that generator's running, can you carry on a conversation around it? I mean, or is it loud?
Absolutely. So if you sit in a room and you say nothing, the noise in the room is between 58 and 65 decibels. Our engine at full load with all the electrical power on it, standing right in front of the exhaust pipe at 3 feet away, is at 68. And when it's running at half load like most generators are calculated at, you and I could have a conversation and the generator would be drowned out by our voice.
Wow. Shawn, this technology, this came to us from, was it automotive or marine? Where did this technology come to you and your company in Orbital Power?
So a few years ago, here at the Expo actually, a rotary engine company approached us to put it into our airplane, and we said we weren't interested in doing it. Number one, the engine wasn't proven, didn't have the certifications, but it was extremely heavy for what the weight was. So they then contracted us to take a look at developing it, and we worked with a company called PF Man in Wauchula, who does machining, and then Orbital Power. And we went and designed a clean slate engine for the lightest weight, most power dense engine. Now, power density is about size and weight for horsepower output. So, for example, if you buy a traditional engine used in light sport, you have an engine that, like a Rotax, for example, whether it's let's use the 100 horse because the math is easy, it weighs about 164 pounds installed. So its power density is about 1.6. Okay, so in our case, our power density is in the tenths. Because, again, we have a 20 horsepower engine that weighs 12 pounds instead of 50 pounds by what you'll see in the marketplace.
You know, and the exciting thing, I'm a techno geek mechanic, so it's easy to get me excited about this kind of stuff because this is the beginning, and where is the end? Where do we get to the point where it just can't get any better?
Well, you know, that's Moore's Law, if you will, going into electronics, which is every 18 months there's a modification and improvement. So the unfortunate part about aviation is in the last 20 years, for lots of different reasons, and that's a different conversation, aviation has stagnated and maybe even moved backwards a little bit. But in today's world, we're starting to see the necessity of getting fuel efficiencies, getting power storages, because it's necessary for our general day in life. And because aviation does go to a higher standard and is with people that are about innovation, things are coming up now. So I think that you will see better power storage units, replacement of batteries, if you will, for other types of power storage, and fossil fuels that are able to power that area. And our goal is to be able to provide engines that efficiently use anything that'll burn, so you're not tied to one source of fuel.
Well, I'm looking forward to you developing the fact that we get a big block of ice and we can burn the oxygen in the ice, I'll be happy.
You can do that now. It's just
Shawn,
expensive.
No, don't tell me that. There's nothing else to live for.
There you go.
But it's a good thing we're only 20 years old, because we've got a lot of work to do in this. But
I'm not quite that old.
19?
There you go.
Next month, I guess.
That's it.
Okay. But age this does keep you timeless, and
Absolutely.
And the only thing that different when you age is you get up in the morning and different things hurt every now and then. But
It's all a state of mind.
it's true.
You know?
Shawn, if we were to send somebody to get more information on Orbital Power or FP&A, where would they go? Other than just Google or a search engine?
You can go to a search engine. That'll absolutely work. Orbitalpower.com or FPNA.com. Airplanes for FP&A, Orbital Power, a partner for engines, and see some of the exciting things that really are being developed. New materials, new engines, new designs, ECUs. Dreams are a reality.
Well, Shawn, I'm impressed, and I'm going to go out to your booth, and you should join us. I'm Ben Coleman, again, one of your hosts for Florida Aviation Network. I'd like to thank Shawn Oken for being here with us, and we're going to talk to some more inciting people. And do you notice I said inciting? Because this man is incited as far as I'm concerned. Take it easy. We'll see you at the next interview.
Thank you. Come out.